Have you booked a city break abroad, or you're relocating to a new city in a different country? Are you nervous about catching that bus from the airport, wary of getting stung by taxi drivers, or scared of taking a bus from the city centre and ending up in the arse end of nowhere? Well, there's really no need, because today I'm going to share with you my 10 tips on how to master public transport in a new city. Ahoy from Prague, I'm Paul Colto, and this behemoth of flatulence is called Yozin. When I first saw a tram timetable at a tram stop in Prague, it was sobering to see a list of place names in a language I didn't have the first idea of how to speak. But after 2 or 3 days, I realised that it was actually quite simple, that everything seemed to arrive on time, and in terms of me getting my bearings in that new city, it was perhaps one of the most important things. Now, 5 years on, it's probably one of my most favourite things to do, just to sit back on public transport with my headphones on, look through the window and watch the city do its thing. So I hope these tips will help to create a mindset that will enable you to embrace public transport in your new city as the quickest, cheapest and most authentic way to navigate the city alongside the locals. So my first tip is to download Uber or one of its alternatives and save the phone number of 2 or 3 reputable taxi companies in that city, just to have as an insurance policy in case everything goes tits up. My second tip is mainly aimed towards people who won't have data on their mobile phone when they arrive in that new city, and that is to download the Google map offline of that city to your mobile phone, again as a kind of insurance policy. So if you do get a little bit lost, at least you'll know kind of where you are. My third tip is another thing you can do before you leave, and that is to research and download the most popular public transport app in that city. These are great because they help you to avoid queues at metro stations and faffing about with change at ticket machines. Earlier this year I was in Vienna, and on my way there I downloaded the public transport app there, and it was fantastic. I was able to buy single tickets, 24-hour tickets, even weekly tickets on that application. My fourth tip might seem a bit weird, but clear a morning in your schedule to experiment. Find a simple route from A to B in the city, and maybe take a friend and monitor your progress a little bit on your mobile phone as you go along. This just helps you to familiarise yourself a little bit with the public transport system in that city. My fifth tip is don't panic if it all goes wrong. Just call that taxi number that you stored in your mobile phone. Swallow your pride, and within 48 hours you'll be laughing about it in the pub anyway. My sixth tip is that after a week or so you're going to know if the public transport system in that city is going to be your best friend, and if it is, I would recommend buying the most economically wise ticket. For example, here in beautiful Prague, if you buy an annual ticket, it works out to 10 crowns a day for unlimited use of all metro, bus and tram services. That's the equivalent of about 30 English pence or 25 European cents or something similar in dollars. My seventh tip is to carefully observe the etiquette on the public transport system in that city. So for example, giving up your seat to an elderly person or to a pregnant woman, and try not to make too many loud phone calls. "All right mate, yeah, just on the schedule in Prague, where?" And also just keep an eye on elevators. So if everyone seems to be standing on one side, that's normally because the other side is for people who are in a bit of a rush to get through more quickly, so don't stand in their way. My eighth tip is to be careful of bogus ticket inspectors. Ask to see their ID if you're in doubt, and if your instinct says that something strange is going on, tell them that you want to go to the nearest police station. My ninth tip is to be wary of pickpockets. Often on a crowded tram, you may have to stand and put your hands up to hold on to handlebars or poles, and at this point your pockets are vulnerable. And at busy interchanges or stations, be very careful when you're getting on and off public transport. I personally just put my hands on both my pockets to try to ensure the safety of my phone and my wallet. And my 10th and final tip is for all you hardcore party goers out there, and it's to learn about the night service and save that information into your phone. try to enjoy the public transport in your new city, because it's a great way to see the city through the window and to get in tune with the rhythm and the heartbeat of that city by watching the locals go about their everyday lives. Mastering public transport in a new city is great, as it opens the city up for you. You'll feel kind of proud that you've mastered it, and you'll start listening to music, sitting back and relaxing a bit more. And it's another small but significant step in being able to call that new city your new home. So thanks very much for watching. We hope you found this video useful. If you did, please click like, consider sharing it with anyone else you think might find it useful, and don't forget to subscribe, because there are new videos every week on ESL teaching advice, international relocation advice, and lots more. So until next time, toot toot.